Thank you everyone and welcome to my channel, Bob Dempster Kitchen. Today we're going to cook something that's really good. It's a Greek moussaka. Now, I called it moussaka. Most of us in America call it moussaka probably, unless you're Greek. But a Greek chef mentioned that it's called moussaka. So I'll go with that. So I'm making moussaka today. Moussaka is a delicious Greek dinner. It's got eggplant, it's got potatoes, and it's got different herbs and different things like that. So we're going to get into that. Bechamel sauce on the top. We're going to get started right now, and we're going to take the eggplant and we're going to cut it. So we're going to put the camera down here, and this is eggplant. Just picked it from my garden. Oh yes. Going to cut the ends off like this. Just like this. Like that. And this, I got to tell you, is really good. It is really good. Some people have to get a special taste for eggplant, perhaps, if you're not used to it. All right, so we want to cut these thin slices. Do that there. We're going to cut those eggplants like this. See how we're going to do this? We're going to cut the potatoes the same way. And then we're going to layer these onto a baking dish. And you can leave the skin on. I like that. You can take it off if you don't like that. No problem. All right. Cut this one up. Is that too loud in your ears? It's a little loud. Echoing here. Whoops. Okay, we'll turn it around. Cut that like that, and maybe one more, like that. That's a little thick. We don't want that, so we're going to cut this down. All right, the next step is we are going to salt the eggplant. So if you will take a look what I've already done just to save some time. I've salted all of these, and that's going to draw the moisture out. That moisture should come out before we fry them, deep fry them. And so when the moisture comes out, we're going to kind of tap it clean with a towel or something, and we're going to turn them over and do that. So while that's salting and getting ready to do that, we're going to cut up some potatoes here, right here. Going to cut them just like we did the eggplant. And then we're going to fry these after we put them in olive oil. Oh, not getting them straight there. Oops. No, I don't want that. All right, like that. And one more like that. Another potato right here. All right, we're going to put these potatoes in this pan. We're going to oil it up with olive oil. Get those in there. Jump in the pot. Olive oil. Thyme. Mix. This guy's a little thick. I don't want that thick because it will cook at a different rate than the others. There we go. Another one. Let's just trim that one down too. There we go. All right, got those delicious potatoes. Look at that with those onions and thyme in there. Now we're going to come over to the stove and we're going to start frying these up. You want them until they're just nice and golden brown. You don't want them too hot. Turn that down. We might have to cook them in batches. Don't those potatoes look great cooking like that? They do. Okay, we're gonna hold off on that guy right there. Fry that up. Let that cook in batches. And we'll come back to the next batch. Gonna turn the salted eggplant over. We salted one side, let the moisture come out for 10, 15, 20 minutes. You can go half hour, whatever. Now we're turning them over. They've been salted on both sides already. Just gonna turn them over. Wipe them dry a little bit there. Just like that, so then they'll be ready to go into the pan. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take these and we are going to put them in a bowl. And in this bowl, we're gonna take some olive oil and we're gonna put that all around here like this. Up with the camera so you can see what I'm doing here on the olive oil. Good. All right, we're gonna do that. And we're gonna take some thyme, also fresh from my garden. And we're gonna cut that up. This is gonna be so good. You will not believe how good this dish is. Really is good. Okay, got that thyme. I'm going to put some thyme in here like this, and then we're going to put salt and pepper. Get my pepper. I like a lot of pepper and some salt. Get that like that. Put these back. And then we're going to mix it with our hand and get that all mixed up. We're going to have enough olive oil on it so that it mixes well. I got plenty of eggplant, that's for sure. I think I picked one too many perhaps, but that's all right. We'll just use it for something. And we're going to get that like that. Then we're also going to be putting this in oil. And we're going to be browning it. All right, the next step is we're going to cut up some onions. We're going to slice some onions nice and thin. If you want to use red onions, they're great in it too, absolutely. And we're going to take this and cut that down like that. Probably plenty right there. Then we're going to take these onions and put them in here as well. We're going to put olive oil on these and a little more thyme, like that. And we're going to mix it up with our hands again. Get all that together like this. That looks delicious just like that, doesn't it? Okay. Got that like that. Now we're going to be frying some of these eggplants. So come on over here to the stove and let's see if our gotta fry those like that. We don't want to burn them. Turn this down a little bit. We want them till they're just golden brown. We have to fry them in batches. Okay. All right, we've chopped up some garlic here, and we are going to put the pot on. It's on. And we're going to be frying up some onions. Get those going. That's the onions that we had in the olive oil. And put some salt and pepper and some thyme on that. So we're going to do that. Get that going a little bit. It's already got oil on it. We don't need any more. All right, while that's cooking up, we're going to throw some already cut garlic buds in there. Don't want to burn them, just a little bit right in there like that. And while that's going, I'm going to get the hamburger meat ready pretty soon here. Gonna put that in. Like this. Mix that all up. That looks good. Okay, using my wooden spoon to chop that down. Get that going, cooking. This is number 5 or 6. This is the meat sauce for the Moussaka. We're going to add about a tablespoon of beef stock in here. We've got the hamburger meat, ground beef, onions already going in there. We're going to kind of mix that around, get that melted down a little bit. We're going to add some salt and pepper to taste. Pepper. Okay, salt and pepper in there, that's good. Now we are going to take a couple of tablespoons of tomato paste. I'm at the end of this, so we're just going to push that all the way through like that. Buy that in the tube because a lot of times you have that can. Take a tablespoon or two and then the rest just kind of put it in the refrigerator and there it sits until you have to throw it away. It gets bad. Stir that up and then we're going to take some, I've got some diced tomatoes that I ground up in my food processor. You can take tomato sauce. You can take the cans or the jars that you get like spaghetti type sauce in the grocery store. You can do that as well. Mix that up. And we're going to be putting some bechamel sauce into this after we make that, which we're going to be making right away, same time. Now, before we stop there, we're going to add some cinnamon. Cinnamon is great, not too much, maybe a teaspoon. Put that cinnamon right in there. Mix that in there. And one other thing I like to do is this is my Saggy Butts pepper sauce. It's a smoked. So I'm going to send it up. And put some of that in there. If you want some of that, you can order that through the email and we'll ship it to you. It's like $3.95 or $4.95, can't remember which. There. So we're going to let that go down to simmer. Kind of take it off the stove for now. Don't want to cook it too much. And then we're going to be doing the bechamel sauce. All right, we're going to add some butter into the pan. We're going to be making the bechamel sauce. And the butter is in there. We're going to grab my wooden spoon. Gonna melt that up. Now we don't want to burn it, just melt it. Just like this. Then we're going to be taking our flour and we're going to be putting that in little at a time with some milk, okay? All right, that's melted now. While that pan is going, we're going to be adding some flour. Cooking that down a little bit. Don't want my hand in there. Oops. Oops. A little more flour. Stir that all in a little more. Just finish that up. Put that over there. Now we cook that down so it gets the raw taste out of the flour. Cook that a little bit, and then we're going to add milk. Okay, little at a time. Just a little at a time. Get that all blended in. You may have to do this a number of times before you finally get the sauce to the right consistency. Good, going here. Mix that in. All right. A little more milk. Keep going. Splashing all over the stove. Just making a mess. But that's what I do when I cook. Do you do that? Oh, I hope so. That makes you a good cook that way. I'm just kidding. Well, maybe not. Anyway, here we go. Keep that going. I don't want my hand in there. I'm not left-handed. All right. A little more milk. Center. Oops. Okay, it's getting there now. Now we're getting in there. We want to add some salt and pepper as well. Little more milk again. Yes, all right, like that. Very good. Stir that up. And we're going to put in 2 eggs. Get those all stirred up like that. Put those eggs in there. Help hold it together. Stir that up. Mix that in. And we still need to thin this down a little bit. But before we do that, we're going to add some salt and pepper. Here's some pepper. My famous electric pepper grinder. Some salt. A little bit of salt, and of course Saggy Butts pepper sauce. Not pepper sauce. Seasoning salt. But I am going to put some of my pepper sauce into the meat. You don't have to. You don't have it, you're not going to. Or you don't like pepper sauce. Might be too hot for you. Although my pepper sauce that I'm going to put in is very mild. Just adds flavor. Okay, we're going to be putting in some nutmeg. I got some fresh nutmeg, and I had to order it online. I couldn't seem to find it in the grocery store. And if you don't have nutmeg, well, you won't put it in. But these are things that add flavor. So we're going to put that nutmeg right in there, fresh nutmeg. Just like that. Stir that in. All right, adding some Parmesan cheese. Okay, look at that. Parmesan cheese right there. All right, stir that in. All right, there's the bechamel sauce. My goodness, look at my stove. I've just made a total mess. I'm going to bring back the meat, and we're going to add some bechamel sauce into this meat mixture. Like this. It's going to give it consistency so it doesn't fall apart when we cut it. this. I have a camera person who doesn't know what they're doing. Oh, but trying very hard. And I said I was going to put some of my cayenne hot pepper sauce and coming down to the end. Look at that. That looks delicious, doesn't it? Look at that. Yeah, so we're going to put a few drops of that in there. Yes, yes, yes. And you don't have to if you don't have it or you don't want it. That's okay, not a problem. But that adds flavor and taste. Okay, look at that. That's looking good. That's looking like that's going to work good in the Moussaka. I'm going to add some olive oil in the bottom of this. Get that going a little bit. Okay, we're going to oil this up. Get on the sides, all on the bottom. Then we're going to start layering the Moussaka. We're going to layer it starting with, put that over there, the potatoes. Layer the potatoes over one another. It's good. All the way down. Throw some onions in there too, because they're going in there as well. Yes, they are. Get those like that, like that, like that. All right. After that's done, then comes the eggplant. Put that on, layer those in there. These are already cooked. Now if you want to bake this, you can bake this and save on the oil as far as calories. Do that as well. So we're just going to put this all in here like this. And you can put them on top of each other, layer them on top too. It's not a problem. It's all going to be good. And we're going to take the onions, the remainder of the onions that we had, and put those on here as well. Spread those around. Then comes the meat. Put on the top of that. Get the camera, make sure you've got that. Make sure we have that on the camera instead of the bottom of the pan. That's not good. All right, there we go. Spread that around. This. Oh, it's gonna be good, good, good. Okay, spread that around, nice and flat. Cover everything up. And the final step, one of the final steps, there's probably a couple, is gonna be the bechamel sauce. And that's gonna go on top of it. Like that. I'm going to spread that around nice and even, like this. A little more. Looks like we had just the right amount of bechamel sauce. Spread that around like that. smooth it out. As they say in Canada, smooth it out. But I'm not from Canada. Just thought I'd tell you. Now, keep it right there, and we're going to grate some Parmesan cheese. Right here and here. That's going to go on top. Get the right side would be help. All right, Parmesan cheese, aged Parmesan cheese. You won't have that probably unless you go to the store and get it. But a Parmesan cheese would be just fantastic. Put that on there like that. Let's get some right in this area here. Okay, that's good. Now, the final step is we're going to bake it. We're going to bake it for about 50 minutes. All right, we're going to cut this moussaka. I keep pronouncing it incorrectly. Look at that. Little cuts here and there. And then we're going to take this out. I actually need a fork. All right, now we're going to taste this. And it just looks great. Oh my goodness. Oh. Oh. So good. I'm telling you. Pardon me for talking with my mouth full. Now, I'm going to pour some of my Saggy Butts pepper sauce. I gotta have that. You may not want it, but it adds everything. It does. All right, we're gonna take another bite here. It's got the potato, the eggplant. That is so good. You have got to try it. You have got to try that. It is delicious. I'm not kidding. It is so good. And it's got potato, eggplant, onions, and whatever else I put into it. Bechamel sauce. We already gave you the ingredients, so we're not going to go there. But anyway, try it. And thanks for joining me on my YouTube, Bob Dempster Kitchen. Be sure and subscribe. Buy the hot sauce, the seasoning salts. I give out seasoning salts on the email. And I appreciate it. Appreciate you watching this. Tell your friends to watch too. Thanks. Bye-bye.